I want to appreciate everyone who has joined this session tonight. I believe the reason you have made it is because we're intentional about the year 2026. A goal without a plan is nothing but a wish. And like you've heard several times, if wishes were horses, even beggars would ride. So one of the vital tools that high achievers utilize to ensure that they continue to be high achievers and high flyers is goal setting. Yeah. But the dynamics around goal setting is exactly what we're going to be looking at tonight. One of the advantages of goal setting is that it protects you from distraction. It keeps you focused, it gives you direction, and it gives you clarity as to what you need to do. Yeah. But I'm not going to do all of the talking tonight, so I won't take the words out of our speakers' mouths. Quickly, I'm going to introduce to us the facilitator for tonight. So Adaeze Nwaka is a corporate engagement and communications expert with experience across the public, private, and social sectors. She's a corporate engagement and communications expert with experience across the public, private, and social sectors. She specializes in CSR strategy, stakeholder relations, and entrepreneurship development. Okay, right about now, she serves as the external communications and advocacy lead in the office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State government, that's in Nigeria, and she's pursuing a PhD at the University of Nottingham in the United Kingdom. All right, just show some emojis as we welcome. I'm gonna call you doctor already because whether the devil likes it or yes, no option of no. You're gonna get it. Yeah, you're gonna get it. So let's welcome Dr. Adaeze Nwaka. Yeah, can you put your hands together? Thank you very much. So over to you. You have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pastor David. Thank you. Thank you for everything. And thank you for the opportunity to also be here to share my thoughts and give some insights to the dynamics of goal setting. And hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I promise you, by the grace of God, yeah, I'm a Christian, so I'll always bring God first, that we are going to enjoy this session, and it's going to help us to know how to organize our goals and achieve them without burning out and without losing ourselves in the end. So before we start, I just want to know where we are joining from. If you could pop it in the comment section. Are you joining us from the UK, from Lagos, from Abuja, from wherever? It's going to be a very interactive session, and I would like us to respond when we are asked questions. Just do your best and tell us where you're joining us from. I'm joining you from the UK, and yeah, Kazim is from the UK as well. Thank you, Kazim. From Canada. Thank you so much, Bukade. Yeah, from Canada. Yeah, from UK as well. And thank you all for joining us. Another thing I would like to ask us is, did you set off? Yeah, I've seen you, Glasgow, Scotland, UK. Oh, thank you all for joining. Lagos, Nigeria. Beautiful. Texas, US. Thank you, Benin City. Oh, good to see you. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So, did you have goals at the beginning of this year? Did you have things that you wrote down that you're going to achieve? You know, when the year is ending, people come together, join church programs, gather in different places, stay in their houses, and write down things that they want to achieve. I want to know, did you have goals at the beginning of this year? And where is your goal currently? Do you think that your goal is moving on well, or is moving on gradually, or are you less enthusiastic? Like, are you less? Have you lost enthusiasm about it? Okay, I see some comments. Okay, yes, okay. Another thing I would like to ask is it beginning to look like just another year to you? If you could answer, that would be great. Are you still in tune with the goals that you had set at the beginning of this year? Or is it beginning to look like another year? So I ask these questions because it's going to help us to be able to discuss this. Yeah, I've seen someone that said just like another year. Yeah,
Mm,
most times when we start, it's like, we're all excited. We have that zeal, and all of a sudden, it's just like every other day. We switch into survival mode, and it keeps going that way. So, what are we going to talk about today? So, we have a familiar pattern, which is what I've tried to talk about here. Someone says, starting on a high note, I can say I have one goal to do a course. Thank God I've started it. Great. So, most times early in the year, people will say, I'll start gym after Christmas. I'll eat everything I want to eat. This is just a basic example that we see every day. This year I'll start gym. The gyms are full. Walk into most gyms during the first, second week of January. You see a lot of people inside the gym. They are all there working out. Second week, the numbers reduce. Third week, the numbers reduce further. By the end of January, you won't see people again. That is how we start with our goals. Sometimes we start on a high note, and before you know it, it starts the zeal, the enthusiasm starts dropping. So it's obvious that enthusiasm is very common, but consistency and discipline is very rare. So we are all guilty of it. At some point or the other, we've all planned to start something that we think is very important to us. And along the line, we just keep losing enthusiasm. We just keep losing the zeal to go ahead with it. So the year will begin with you bold thoughts. We'll have big, when the year is ending, everybody's thinking very big, planning big, big things and ambitious goals, but our intentions are not what is rewarded. It is the performance. It is how we perform those goals. That is what counts. So we've all heard it several times that a goal without a plan is just a wish. It's just hope against hope. And it doesn't have any effort. It doesn't have structure. It doesn't have direction and all that. Before we go further, I would like to share a story with us. I hope I'm able to keep it brief because it's someone's life story, and I was able to get his permission to share that story. So there's this guy, very intelligent in school. Then, right from secondary school, very intelligent. He is always met his targets, passed his exams. How his teachers love him. Even the principal does not joke with him. So he moved to the university and was also a very high flyer. He made a friend, and he had a friend then who wasn't doing so well. And his friend came closer to him just because iron sharpened iron, and they became friends. So he taught the guy how to study, gave him tips and tricks and all that. Eventually, they all came out in high flying colors. But the problem is that the guy came from a comfortable but not well connected family. His friend came from a well connected family as well. So he started asking the friend, "Where are you going to serve? Where can we serve?" We've been doing a lot of things together. It's just natural for us to also plan service together. And the friend said, my father has sorted it out. He said, I'm going to serve in a very big telecom company. I'll try not to mention the names of companies here. Say, oh, could you talk to your father for me? Someone that believes that he has helped him for a very long time, and it's just natural for you to tell your dad to also just put in the word there. And the friend was reluctant, and eventually he gave excuses and moved back to Lagos to continue his service. The other guy who had helped him kept on looking for how and where he was going to serve and got a very private company that hardly pays coppers. So, long and short of the story, the other friend was moving higher and he was getting depressed. This is someone that I helped in school, and this is me, still very intelligent, but because I don't have access, I'm not able to achieve what I want to achieve. Kept on writing the friend, calling the friend, can you help? The friend moved from the telecom company to an oil company, and life was really good, but he never looked back. So one of those days, he had written several applications. He said about over 300 applications, and he was getting frustrated. He was almost attempting suicide. So one of those days, I coincidentally called him on the phone, and he had just left another interview, another office. He attended an interview and was rejected. So I had called him for another thing, and he was like, "Don't call me, I'm not in a good mood, I'm tired." This, and I said, "Why are you sounding like this? You don't even know what the future holds." So he said that word just held him back, sort of. He now said, okay, that he'll call me back. And later in the evening, he now called me. He said, Ada, there's something I'll tell you today. Someday soon, I will never write an application letter again. I said, I laughed at him, I said, do you know what that means? Do you know how far you will go before you now say you never write an application again? He just said, okay, just calm down. And that was it. So once in a while, I'll follow up. I say, how far? But gradually, just not to, delay us and tell a very long story. He got an admission to do his master's in Australia, and he left. He worked so hard, you know, and after his master's, he got a PhD scholarship. And I called him one of them, said, you've achieved your goal. He said, no, that's not my goal. My goal is never to apply for a job again. After his PhD, he was offered a teaching job in the school. He said no. I said, is that not the goal? He said, no, that's not the goal. I said, I don't want to apply for a job again. As I speak to you today, this guy is heading the whole of Southeast Asia in Boeing. Boeing is this company that produces aeroplanes. And for the past 7 years, he has never applied for another job. Companies are poaching on him every day, asking him, okay, name your demands. What do you want us to give you? What do you want us to, how can we help? Okay, give us your terms. How much can we offer you? And so one day he called me, he said, do you know who called me today? I said, no. He said, who called you? He said, is that my friend? He has heard and has read about him, and he's now trying for them to reconnect. So why did I tell this story? It's going to help us to understand what we are going to learn today. Sometimes what we even call goals are not goals. What we see as goals are like intermediate goals, because a goal must fit into purpose. So let me stop there and continue with the slides. I'll come back to every piece and part of that story. So what we are learning today is process-based. I'm sure that most of us have joined goal setting classes in different places, and we've heard set goals, do this, do that. We've not learned the how. That is what this session will focus on today. We want to understand the fundamentals of goal setting, define it in a way that covers all the aspects of it, master the process, and develop action plans that will help us, and also build habits that can keep us focused. So if you can help me get a pen and paper, because as we learn, we're going to do exercises that will help us know where we are with our goals. So the problem is that most goals fail, and most goals don't go beyond February, especially the ones that we set for at the beginning of the year. I'm also guilty of this. I've had a lot of goals I wrote down, prayed about them, but by February, I switch into survival mode and move on. So we want to also help us to know that we can set goals that can last beyond where we are or what we see. Just as goals are not prayer points. They are not They are not bursts of motivation. You go to church and you go to maybe you join motivational courses, or you attend sessions and you say a lot of things, you're pushed to doing a lot of things. Goals are not bursts of motivations. They are not rigid promises, because you can make adjustments in your goals. And it's not set once and you chase it blindly. You have to, wanting something without structure, actual action of commitment is just hope. It's not a goal. Excitement will always fade, especially when you're motivated so much and you're excited. And then with time, it fades. Why? Because there's no structure, there is no action, there's no commitment, there is no accountability. So, adjusting your approach can help you grow. And incomplete goal is also incomplete when you don't get any support, when you're not getting any feedback, and when you're not holding yourself accountable. Goals are not solo journeys. You cannot set a goal just by yourself. You do not have support. You do not have anybody that is holding you accountable. You do not have any structure that keeps you focused on that goal. Then it's not a goal. So in the past, we have all learned goal setting. We've heard about it. Growing up, my father taught me goal setting using the word VACE. I've never heard anyone teach that again. I grew up and had a talk somewhere about goal, and I used that VACE method, where he will always start it like an will I say an advice now or a saying? He'll say, "Whatsoever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon will inevitably come to pass." So he taught me goal setting using that VACE method. And then the other one I'm also used to now is the SMART framework of goal setting. We've all known about SMART framework, the specific goals, the measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. These are the frameworks of goal settings that I've used before, that I've seen before, that I've been opportuned to learn from. But when you look at it critically, you will realize that the VACE method is focusing on the individual chasing the goal. The SMART method is focusing on the goal itself. So each of them sound a bit theoretical because they do not have the how, the process that that goal setting involves. So when you look at the VACE approach and you look at the SMART approach, you will know that something is missing in the middle. And that something is supposed to bring the two of them together. So one, they might look action oriented, but they focus on SMART focuses on structure and control. It controls the goal, must be specific, it must be measurable. Then the VACE is looking at the individual, focusing on internal alignment and activation. And both of them are just in my opinion, theoretical, because goals are tied to a purpose. You don't wake up in the morning and you say, "Oh, I want to, get a master's degree." That is not a goal. People might say it's a goal. Okay, let me say it's an intermediate goal, because the real purpose is, what do you need a master's degree for? What will it do for you? Where will you put where will it put you in your life? Remember, the guy I talked about, his own goal was never to ever apply for a job again. He had to get a master's to be able to do that, excuse me. He had to even get a PhD to be able to do that. So that's his own goal was tied to a purpose. And after your goal, there should not be any other thing. You understand? But every other goal that leads you to that point, maybe it's a journey. So do we even know what we call goals? And goals is also something that we are willing to structure our lives around. Like, it changes our lives, it changes how we think, our perception, the people we hang out with, the kind of things we prioritize, the result or achievement toward which an effort is directed. The goal, when you're chasing a goal, all your effort, all your attention, everything is directed towards that. It's also a clear intention pursued honestly through consistent action and continual adjustment. This is just a summary of what goal represents, because this is action oriented. It also involves process and how. So now let's talk about goal setting in a way that encompasses the VACE method and also the SMART method. I was thinking through it and I said, how can I discuss goal setting in a way that brings these two aspects together? And that led me to the word chase, the chase method of goal setting. This way kind of brings the process. Chase is a verb that means, chase is chase, running after something. or going after something that you want. So that this chase method sort of brings the VACE method into perspective, the SMART method into perspective, and it helps you in setting a goal through a practice that you design that will help you pursue a clear intention honestly and through consistent action and continual adjustment. So the C in that chase is clarify. The H is honest, the A is act, the S is sustain, and the E is evaluate. So let's dig into what each of them represents. So when you want to clarify what you're chasing, you ask yourself, what exactly do I want? What are you running after? What is your goal? Please, this is the time we're going to use our pen and paper. If you can help me write what you think are your goals for the year or for the next 2 years, or whatever your purpose, you're tying your purpose to. If you can list them out in that paper and a pen you have, because like I said, it's a process class and we're going to do work with them so that at the end of it, we'll know where the journey is. So when you want to clarify what your goal is about or what you're chasing after, it's very important because you can't carry a lot of things at the same time. Someone will say, I want to build a house in 3 years. I want to work in so place. I want to do this. The list will be so long. And the truth is, you cannot focus on all those things at the same time. You have to, some will definitely take precedence over the other. Some will be more important than the other. Some will be prioritized over the other. So it's difficult to focus on what you have not clarified. If you do not know what you're chasing, you will always miss it. So your goals should be clear, vivid, and can be described. Even if you wake up from sleep and you have sleepy eyes and someone asks you your purpose, you should be able to say, this is what I'm chasing after, and this is what I know. It should be written down if possible. You have somewhere that you write it. That is why I say in your pen and paper, using your pen and paper, write down the things that you are chasing after, the goals that you have tied to a purpose. At least write 5 things. Write 5 things that you're chasing after. Then clarity means choosing one or two main things over many good things. Now we have the short goals, we have the intermediate and the long-term goals. Why I didn't even list them differently is because they are not the crux of the matter in this discussion. I will just mention them passively because I'm talking about process. But short, intermediate, and long-term can actually mean that the short goal can lead to the intermediate can lead to the long-term. So it could actually mean that the boxes you're ticking are steps towards the main goal that you're chasing. So another thing that you need to clarify your goal is to discuss it with the people or the person that journey will affect the most. If you are married, you have to discuss your goal with your significant other. If you have people that are very dependent on you, you have to discuss your goal in detail with them. Why am I saying this? You don't need people to work against you without knowing that they are working against you. But because you didn't tell them what you're chasing after, you didn't tell them your goal or the purpose you want or what you're working towards, there will be the impediment to your success, and they won't even know that they are hurting you. So your goal needs to be discussed with the people that matter and the people that mean well to you and the people that it will affect the most. So in clarifying your goal, you make sure your goal is not clashing with your wife's goal. If your wife is studying, you shouldn't be talking about studying at the same time, especially if you have children. So your goals should be complementary. So if she's studying at the moment, you can, push that one to the next time and then come back to something that you can achieve while she completes her studies. And if your goal will affect your finances or anything about your family, you also need to discuss it so that she knows or he knows. That way, they will help you to even achieve it, because when it becomes a priority, a lot of things will be stepped down in the family. So that's why it's important to discuss with them. And every clarified goal automatically deprioritizes every other thing. So if the goals are very clear to you and to the person that it will affect, it will help you people make the necessary adjustments that you need to make in order to be able to focus on the goal. And complexity is the enemy of execution. If you carry a lot of things at the same time, you will definitely not complete any of them. even if you manage to complete, it won't be in the standard it would have been if you had maybe deprioritized some of these things. Then distractions survive in vagueness, clarity starves them. So if you have a clearly defined goal, you'll be able to starve your distractions. You will know that this thing, no, 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 this thing will take me out of this line. I'm not going to even give any form of energy to this thing. I'm going to focus on this one. That will help you a lot as long as your goal is clear. Now, having said this, now look at the list that you have, the 5 things that you've written out that you're chasing, or the 5 things that you consider your goals, whatever they are. Which of them are very important to you? If I tell you to remove 2 out of that 5, can you do it? Just remove 2 out of it and leave it at 3. Look at those 3 very well. Are they tied to a purpose? Are they tied to the purpose that you want to achieve in life? You have to remove the ones that are not yet tied to a purpose, and you have to categorize them into the ones that are means to the other ones, so that you have clearly defined goals. If you have done that, then we'll move to um, the next, the next word, or the next letter of chase, which is H. H means honest. You have to ask yourself, why do I really want to do this? Do I really want to? What's the motive? What do I want to achieve? Can you tell yourself the truth? Are you going to, chase goals based on your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? Is this your goal, or is it someone else? You've seen someone thriving in a particular industry, you've seen someone thriving in a particular job or doing something, and all of a sudden you want to live that person's life. Is it really your goal? If it's not your goal, you will not be able to go far with it. The goal you're pursuing should be your goal, not just being your goal. You should be passionate about it. You should definitely be interested in it. It should drive you. It's something that should wake you up in the morning with a lot of enthusiasm. So if that goal is yours, and not someone else, then it's possible that you can achieve it. But if it's someone else, if you're influenced by your society, by your family, by social media, by people around you, then that goal may not thrive. It will require extra effort. But if you are influenced by your desire to be that thing that you want to be in life, then it's possible for you to achieve it. And how much does that goal align with you? Does it align with the things that you like? Or are you setting goals that are outside what you appreciate or how you see life? So there must be some sort of alignment in your goals and your values. Then where are you at the moment with that your goal? What the resources you have, can it help you? What do you need to put in place for you to kickstart that goal, or for you to actually achieve that goal? You have to list those things. Now, those 3 goals that you have left in that paper now, if you can answer the questions in this session inside that paper, that will help you. We've started the process, just so you know. So how much does this goal mean to you? You should be able to answer in that paper. What resources do you have to support now, and what do you need? Do you have everything you need financially? Do you have everything you need what do I call it now? Emotionally. Are you in a good emotional place to pursue this thing? Do you have every other thing that you need? Where your family is at the moment, where your life is at the moment, can you be able to pursue that goal and achieve it? Or will it take you years? It's fine if it's going to take longer than necessary, but it's also good to know where to start from now. What do you have now, and how long will it take you to get there? If you can add it to what you are writing or what you've written down so far, that would be great. Where am I at the moment in relation to the goal I want to pursue? If you're still maybe a junior worker and you want to end up being an MD someday, where are you at the moment, and what will it take you? Be honest to yourself. That is what this honesty represents. It will help us to, self-reflect and know how we can actually pursue our goals. The next thing I want to ask us is, I want to talk about is the A in the chase, which is actionable. What can you actually do at the moment, and how do you do it? So action is very, very important when it comes to setting goals. Your actions, what the things that are necessary to help your goal. Remember the person we spoke about? He burnt a lot of candle. He read so much. So there was a time he was even saying that I no longer, previously, I used to feel bad when I get rejection emails from interviews I attended. At some point, he said he wasn't feeling bad anymore. He said each of those emails he received will always tell him, some will tell him, unfortunately, due to this, that, that, those, this, that were listed as reasons, he will go and improve on them. He kept on doing those things because he knew that a time will come when there will be no other reason to say no. So the actions you take are very, very important. Goals will definitely fail if they remain abstract. If there's no course of action, if there's no laid out plan for that goal, it will fail at some point. What actions can you put in place daily, weekly, and even on bad days? There are days you wake up and you feel like, oh, I've lost enthusiasm, something happened, your emotions are all over the place, you're not able to pursue your goals, you maybe whatever you wrote down that you be doing every day, you're not even in the mood. But there are actions that you put in place that even in days that I wake up this way, okay, this is what I will do. That way, you're always on course, even when it's not easy. So you turn every step of the way, every step of the outcome into tasks. What you call short-term goal becomes a step to the next one. What we call intermediate becomes to a step to the next one. So what do we say? Okay, I want to get a promotion in 6 months. That's an intermediate goal. You start putting more effort at work, meeting targets, coming early, being visible at it, doing things that makes you visible in the office, and just to get the promotion. But to me, promotion is not an end goal, because after promotion, what next? If you're promoted to that position, remember the job can end one day. So how is it tied to your main purpose? So when you create that balance between knowing the one that is short, intermediate, and the a long-term goal, that will help you to tick the boxes of which one you have achieved at any point in time. You also determine what progress means to you. Every week you look at your maybe where you write down your activities for the week, or what. Personally, I use my phone because I know that my phone is always with me. When I wake up in the morning, I set alarms here and there to keep me in check and also help me to tick my boxes. So most times when I go back to my phone and I check what I've done, I say, okay, this has been sorted, now it's time to face this one. That helps me a lot. So determine what progress means to you and determine how you're going to tick your boxes every time. But it's very important that you keep ticking boxes as you go. You don't just set goals and say, oh, since I didn't meet this one today, next time I'll continue. Yes, I know sometimes we can fall out of our intentions, our plans and everything, and come back, but it's always good to tick boxes. Do you know that when you tick your boxes and check on your progress very often, you have this sense of fulfillment? It drives you into the next level, it drives you into the next part of your goal. So you also ask yourself, the actions that you're taking, what is it going to cost you? How is it going to affect you? What will it take from maybe your normal livelihood? And you create that balance in the actionable plans that you're going to set up. So it would also be nice that in that paper that you have now, you could also infuse these things into it and ask these questions: how you can determine your progress, what makes progress in this plan that I have written down, how do I break down the tasks, and what actions can I put in place on daily basis, on weekly basis, and even on bad days. So if you have done that, we can move on to the next slide. The next letter is the S, the sustainable part of the goal chasing or the goal setting. Now, this is where many goals fail. Most frameworks fail here. What makes them fail is good, is very good to start something. It's also very good to sustain it. It's very important to start. It is even more important to be consistent. So consistency lives here. This is where you have to be willing to repeat process. You have to be willing to repeat those things that you think you don't like. You have to be willing to repeat things that you're not comfortable with. And that is what will help you through your goal. Now, chasing goals requires being consistent. In fact, you have to make it part of your life. If you're doing something and part of it requires you maybe to do exercise 2 hours every day, for example, or it requires you to read every day. Let me use myself as an instance. My study requires me to at least commit 4 hours a day to research. I have to, no matter what I do, it can be more. It should be more. But even on bad days, I have to at least make sure I sit for 4 hours and research, because if you don't do it for one day, it will leave you for maybe 10 years or 10 days. Let me not exaggerate. It will leave you for 10 days. And it's like every day, new articles, new journal publications come up and people publish. And if you're not following the trend on daily basis, by the time you get to the end of your study, you realize that what you're studying, someone has already done it. So you have to do 4 hours every day, no matter what happens. Even if you're sick, if you can't go to school, you stay at home and you have to find a way to read. So if your own goal requires you to make a daily commitment, find a way to do it. So that consistency is what will keep you throughout that journey. And if you make it part of your life, it will get to a point where it's no longer boring, it's no longer hard, it's no longer difficult, because you have made it, you've been so consistent with it that your body, your mindset, everything is used to it. Then it helps you to become, when you want to be consistent, you become intentional about the kind of boundaries that you set. You become very, very conscious of yourself, of where you go, what you do, because it's like something is itching you, something keeps reminding you that you have some things you're doing, you have something you're chasing. You no longer have time for things that don't serve that purpose. And that's the truth. So in being consistent, these things are very, very important. You will see yourself, once you see yourself in that consistency mode, you see yourself deliberately shedding excess weight, the weights that do not align with that goal, the things that do not help you towards that goal. You deliberately see yourself losing them out. Then discipline that is compassionate. Sometimes people chase their goals with so much determination, so much commitment, that it becomes punishment instead of it's no longer compassionate to even their own self. It's good to be very committed, it's good to be well driven about your goal, but it's also good to be compassionate about it, because if you push yourself to the extreme, sometimes when you face disappointment, it hits you very bad. But if you create that balance between being compassionate to yourself while chasing your goal, and also chasing your goal with commitment, you'll be able to handle certain things when they don't go your way. The most important thing is you arrive at your destination, but the truth of the matter is that it's also good that you don't lose yourself. You don't lose yourself when you're chasing your goal. Another very important aspect of goal that I really don't joke with is mentorship and support. Who are you talking to about your goals? Now, I'm not talking about your significant other. I'm not talking about your parents. They are very crucial in your goals here. But when I talk about mentorship and support, I'm talking about someone that will relate with you with a different level of criticality, that is not in the like that is not emotional, someone that is joining you to achieve this goal, someone that can hold you accountable. And it's not a random person, it's someone that you have to think carefully who you want to use as a support, as a mentor, as someone that you can share this idea that you're chasing with. And the person will be like, okay, how do you intend to achieve it? You tell the person, this is what I will do here, and once in a while the person will be able to call you on the phone and say, okay, have you been able to do this? Let's even meet and discuss how far you've gone. Yes, you need it, because that journey can sometimes be so what word would I use? It can be very lonely, especially, and it can be very depressing sometimes. Yeah, because things may not always go as planned. You will definitely face some setbacks, some rejections, some things. When you write out a very long plan, and like now you're going to Lagos from Abuja, or you're going to Lagos from Owerri or anywhere, and along the road you discover that some of the roads are blocked and you're not allowed to pass through there. People will now direct you to another road, and you follow the other road and go, 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 and then arrive at your destination. So most times we set our goals and we set plans and we set things in motion, and all of a sudden something happens, and it's like the plan is no longer going as we had expected it to go. So that is when you need someone that can emotionally, intellectually, and practically support you. And it's not anyhow person. You have to intentionally decide who that person is going to be, and that person should be a fuel to your goal. So I was on a call with my friend, yeah, early this week. I think she's also in this session, and she had gotten her admission to do her PhD, and we were discussing about it. And she said she had called a friend to tell her that, oh, I'm facing difficulty in this about my visa and this that. And the person said, why are you traveling? Why are you going to the UK to do PhD? Why don't you do it in Nigeria? Why don't you, the person started discouraging her all of a sudden, and the person did not even know that she has gotten the admission. She was just gisting her, telling her about her plans to do a PhD in the UK. Say, stay in Nigeria and do it. Stay in Nigeria. I say, okay. So when she gave her a lot of reasons why she does not need to travel to do it, she now said, no problem. Say, how about you now? What's your plan? I said, me, I've gotten admission in London, or I'm doing my own. Shima is doing in London, but Shima wants you to do in Nigeria. He said, oh, you got your own. Okay. Me that is telling you, Kwana, I got my own already. So when she ended that call, we were talking, and she was now telling me, say, Ada, see, imagine I had spoken to this lady before applying. I wouldn't have even gone ahead with this admission or with this journey. I said, yes. The people you talk to before you do anything, or the people you share your thoughts, your goals with, very important. They're as important as that goal. Some people naturally see everything negative in everything you want to do. Some people are naturally pessimistic. No matter how good an idea sounds, they will only focus on the bad parts of that idea. So you have to be very discerning. You have to be very careful who you choose to share your goals with. See, a time will come when something you've applied for, something you're chasing, that will take you to the next level of that goal may not come out exactly as you planned it. And you now go and you now need someone to pour your feelings to. You now need someone to talk to. And in that moment of weakness, you need someone that will lift you up. Lift you up. In fact, someone that will even go the extra mile of looking for options that can put you back in line with your goal. So you don't just look for anyhow person to share these ideas with. There are some times that I will feel like, oh God, this journey is killing. How am I coping? I can't cope. I'll just call one of my friends that I've already stationed her. In fact, I have a number of them, but this particular one, when I call her, I say, I don't think I can continue with this. I'm exhausted. I'm mentally drained. She said, you that I'm looking, no, the way she will speak to me, she will make me see, she will make me see myself in a way that I've never even seen myself before. She will so encourage me, hype me, remind me of the ones I've achieved before, remind me of the places I've gone. Do you know when you did that thing? Do you know when you went to that place? I never knew you could do it. But even me, I couldn't do it, but I watched you do it. These are the kind of people you need when you are chasing a goal. You need people that would, but while they're also supporting you, they should also be very critical to tell you, you didn't get this right. Correcting you with the intention to move you forward, not with the intention to break you into pieces. So who you speak to is very, very important. Another thing that will sustain your goals is knowing what to delegate. You may not be able to do everything by yourself, but knowing what to delegate to other people, the ones you can do, the ones someone can help you do, the ones you need to reduce, the ones you need to protect, the ones that are, you just have to be discerning about it. And as you're holding that your paper and writing down things, kindly write down the names of 2 or 3 people that you think that can help you in mentorship and support, and also hold you accountable in your goals. Remember, we are building a document that will help you in achieving your goals. So please, it's very important. Now, write out the names of people that you think that can support your goals, and write out the things that you think that can help your goals for you to be consistent in chasing your goal. I gave you an example that I have to do 4 hours of research. I gave another example that some people need to do 2 hours of exercise every day. So look at that, your goal. What can you do consistently that can help that goal to that can help you achieve that goal. That's important. That will help you create a system that won't burn you out. So you need to create a system that won't burn you out, but that will help you, that will keep you in that journey till you achieve it. So burnout is often a sign that we plan the goal, but we forgot to plan the support. So now you're not just planning the support of human beings, you're also planning the support of knowing what to delegate, knowing who can help you, and knowing what to protect for yourself, and knowing the things that should be consistent in the goals that you're chasing. So the last letter is the E. So that's where evaluation comes in. What is working? You evaluate what is working. As you keep being consistent, chasing your goals, looking around, trying to find out the things that you're doing them every day, ticking your boxes. You sometimes you pause periodically to say, okay, what is working and what is not working, because you can't keep moving even when it's not leading to the destination. So evaluation will help you remove guilt from adjustment and failure. So when you constantly evaluate, it will get to a point where you stop seeing failure as failure, or when you stop seeing rejection as failure, or when rejection and failure stops disappointing and depressing you. So it becomes something like a feedback. It becomes a feedback for you, something you need to go back and adjust, something you need to go back and look at to say, okay, I didn't get it here. Okay, oh, this is why I didn't get this. Okay, that means I'll quickly need to take this course and get this certificate. I'll quickly need to do this, to do this. So it becomes what helps you check yourself and know how to adjust where necessary. It helps you to normalize reflection and change. So when things change, when your journey changes, when the trajectory of your goal is looking like it's not the way you had planned it, you will not be so shocked. Rather, you constantly reflect and make the necessary adjustment, as long as in the end you get to where you're going. And not just getting to where you're going, it fits into your purpose and you get that fulfillment you desire. So periodic check-ins, very important. Always look at your vision board, or whether you're using vision board or whether you wrote it down. Well, you have to write it down clearly. I don't know, I didn't emphasize more on that. If you don't write down your goals, yes, I did when I spoke about clarifying your goals. If you don't write it down, it's not even a goal. Even Bible mentioned, write the vision, make it plain on the tables, that he may run that readeth it. Anything you don't write down, if there is no document, if there's no where you wrote down your goal and how it's going to be, then these things may not work for you. But you have to write it down and follow the process and constantly reflect on them and make the necessary adjustment. You always pause, review, adjust. But one thing you will never do is quitting. You will not quit. It's good to extend the time of achieving that goal. It's fine if you have to fix something along the line just to jump back onto the goal. It's good to maybe adjust to what life brings to you, but it's one thing you shouldn't do is to quit from that goal, especially if that goal fits into your purpose. So it's very important that you monitor your goal, adjust it, and also be flexible about it. So when we come to next steps, I hope you still have your paper, because by now you should have some questions from what you have written from your goal. I'm talking generally. I didn't break it down to maybe your goal is you're chasing a goal in leadership, you're chasing a goal in career, you're chasing a goal in academics, you're chasing a goal in whatever. It's from the questions that we're going to ask that we're now going to narrow it down to as it concerns us. So this is generally how we're going to look at our goals, how we're going to, the process we're going to follow to achieve them. Now, when you talk about the next steps, you ask, what are your success strategies? How will you count? What will you do to say, okay, these are the things that I'm going to do that will ensure that I succeed in these goals? So when you talk about success strategies, you ask yourself, have you first visualized the goals? Are you sure that that's good? Like I said in Clarify, can your environment, have you built an environment that will support that goal? People around you, the people you need to let go of, the people you need to bring on board, the people you need to follow. Let me even add the fact that if you want to achieve a goal and you see people that are very successful in that area, it's very important that you look for them, follow them on social media, study their life patterns. I do that a lot. That is my own style. I follow that a lot. If I see that, you're an expert in this area and I'm interested in that area, or you're living in something that I'm interested in and I'm very passionate about, I will definitely follow you. I'll follow your teachings. I'll pay for your classes. I will attend your classes, because no matter, learning never stops. Like Pastor David earlier said, you will never stop learning. But once this person is living in that your moment, or in that prayer that you want, please go and find, at least you'll even know how they were able to overcome their own obstacles. Or you may be at the point where you're facing your own challenges and you do not know where to go from there. Yes, then when you listen to them, watch their videos, their YouTube videos, their online videos, buy their CDs or whatever, their classes, and listen to it. Believe me, you will learn from it. So I call them mentors as well, but they don't know they have mentees. They have a mentee in me that they've never even met before. Yes, they mentor me, but they don't know they are mentoring me. So feel free to find somebody that lives that kind of life that you want, or fits into the goal you're pursuing, or into the purpose that you want, and follow them and learn their strategies, their success strategies, and how they were able to meet up with it. Then who are your accountability partners? Who are the people that you can call to say, this is what I'm doing? Like I said, I have a number of them that I say, okay, even when I'm doing something, even when I'm handling a class, even when I'm doing anything, even when I'm studying, even when I give presentation, even when I attend classes or I do something, I will definitely call for a feedback and say, what do you think about this? Which areas do you think I should do better in? It's very, very good to have people that hold you accountable. It's very, very good to have people that support you when, even when you can't take, even when you can't take rational decisions, when you're in that when you're not in a very good emotional state of mind. You need people that can think for you, and you trust them enough that because they are very in tune with you, because they are like partners to you, that they won't give you bad advice. So that when you get over whatever you're struggling with and look back, you realize that you're still on track because you have the right people with you. But if you have people that once you say, I told you not to pursue this thing, I told you that this is a dead end, you may not be able to go far. So look through and see. We are still talking about success strategies. So please look through and see that your accountability partners are very, very, they are very relevant to your goal. Yeah. So look at your implementation intentions and what it will cost you. It's very important to also know how much your goal is going to cost you as a person financially, how much is going to cost you as a mom, as a father, as a son, as whatever relationship you hold, as a friend to people that look up to you, or people that count on you for one thing or the other. So when I was studying to come, when I was preparing for my study, and I had to withdraw from social life a bit, just to ensure that I am able to prepare well for my study. So sometimes it will cost you something. And if you have people around you that understand your vision, or if your friends are people that say, oh, I'm not able to show up between now and then because I have to focus on this, they can understand. Some people may not understand, and it's fine to lose people when you're chasing your goal, as long as it's not that you lost them because something, that you can always reconnect. But make sure that you don't, in the process of trying to keep people, you end up losing the goal you are chasing. So create that balance and make sure that whatever the implementation will cost you, that you put them into place and you consider them. If you don't have the funds now, how can you raise the funds? So that will also help you in planning. What do I do to raise the funds to start chasing this thing? That's why it's good to write them and follow them one step after the other. So you also have to prepare how you celebrate your wins. It's good, very, very good to celebrate every milestone achieved, no matter how little, even if it means that you finished one book, you're reading a particular, you're reading some books that will help you in your further journey or whatever, and you find a way to celebrate yourself, pat yourself in the back, have where you tick the boxes, have where you mark your milestones, whether in the mirror in your bedroom or wherever you can. Just have a way that you thank yourself. It helps you to look forward to that time that you have to give your, it helps you look forward to your reward system and all that. So how can you also you also help yourself by knowing how you can make your commitment public, so that you can leverage the pressure, that's public pressure to your advantage. I'm not saying that you should go outside and announce your goals to everybody. No, it still boils down to those people that matter, that will hold you accountable, those people that are important to your goals. It still boils down to making that your goal public to them, so that leveraging on that their network, on that knowledge that they have, you're pressured into making sure you achieve it. If I come and tell you that I want to achieve something in a couple of years, the fact that I told you that thing alone, I will somehow be on my toes to make sure that you don't look at me as somebody that will say something and not achieve it. So learn to have people that you can always tell those things to, and they'll follow up with you and find out that you're making that progress. Is very, very important. Track your progress visually. Track your progress visually, please. Try your best to track your have somewhere you're tracking your progress. If you don't have a place in your house where you can track your progress, you can have it anywhere. You can buy a book for your goal and then track your progress with it. Believe me, for every progress you make, you'll be very excited. It's just like somebody their goal is to maybe live a healthy life, make healthier life choices, and maybe they're overweight. And I won't say my goal is to lose weight. No, my goal will be to be healthier. So in being healthy, I have to make choices, maybe exercise and feeding. So tracking my progress will make me happy, because at the end of every week, when I mount that scale and I see some pounds up, believe me, it's very, very exciting. It gives fulfillment. That is why tracking your progress is important. And let me tell you, it keeps you in the race. It keeps you motivated to continue chasing your goals. So do not forget to track your progress. Give yourself that pat in the back when you get it done, and then learn from your setbacks. It's not a bad thing to have a setback when you're chasing your goals. Yes, you will have a setback, but what you make out of that setback, instead of judging yourself, or find what that setback represents and fix it and move on. By the time it will get to a point where you don't have any other reason but to achieve that goal, because at every point in time, every failure has been converted to feedback. Every disappointment has been converted to feedback. It's no longer meant to depress me. It's meant to push me forward. So be flexible about your goal. Know that a goal can change, especially in the kind of society we live in now. Your goal can actually change based on policies. If your goal has something to do with existing policies or whatever that concerns the world or the world we live in, be flexible and know that world policies, life changes, deaths, certain things happening in the house or anything at all can actually affect your journey. So, but be ready to make adjustments, because the end is very important. The end is to achieve that purpose and be happy about it. So always be ready to make adjustments. And it's not any sign of weakness, it's actually a sign of wisdom. Adjustment is not weakness in any way. Rather, you're being wise to know that, oh, I'm human and life can happen. And when life happens, then I have to adjust to it. So the next steps then, do you have a course of action yet? I can't see comments, but I'm believing that if you have a list, if you had followed the list as we were talking and imputing everything we've been saying as it concerns your goals, you would have had a course of action at this point. Maybe when we have opportunities to make an opportunity to make contribution, I'll listen to those. Have you identified your first point of call, or where your goals should begin? Do you know where you should start from now? You can let us know if you want. Then do you have areas that you still have gaps? I'm happy to clarify. We're happy to discuss about that when we get into the questions and answers, and also we'll open the floor for contribution. So to conclude this talk, because I wouldn't want us to stay longer than necessary, I just want us to know that setting goals is not the problem. It's the systems that you put in place to achieve the goals that matter the most. If you don't put any system in place, then forget it. It will just be like every other year for you. But I don't pray that it's like that. So we have to set up a working system that will work for us. Remember, we pray to God, though, so that we don't miss the bus. Like for those of us that run to catch bus, we pray to God not to miss the bus, but we still run to meet that bus. So it's not just about prayers, wishes, hopes. Effort counts. So no matter what you do, and again, it's not the person that loves the work. achieves better than the person that loves the destination. Like if you love the process, if you get to the point where you enjoy the process, you achieve your goal better than the person that is looking just at the goal without considering the process. So the systems you put in place helps you, goes a long way to help you in achieving your goals. And your goals are not the problem, your approach is actually the problem. Having goals, not a bad thing. It's very important that anybody that is alive, that is living, should have goals. It's very important. So, but the way you approach your goals is all that matters. Discipline alone will not save your goals. A lot of things are involved. And from everything I've been talking about in the past hour, you should know that discipline is not just the only thing. A lot of things that around you, within you, outside you, counts a lot. Then you have to build systems that hold you accountable. I can't emphasize on that enough. It's very, very important that you have a system that will hold you accountable within and outside. Get support. Get Goal setting requires a detailed and continuous research. Yes, like I said, every day you're on top of information concerning what you're chasing. If you're looking for admission outside the country, you're chasing career goals, whatever, you have to know better than every other person applying for that role. You
Mm.
have to always have the most recent information in that regard. If not, another person will outsmart you. So you have to stay on top of your goal, on top of your research. You have to always look every morning. Go and check the websites, the news on that area you're chasing your goal with. Like I said, if for me that is studying, that is a researcher, if I don't check um journal articles every day to see the ones that are under review, the ones that have been approved and published, I will be in trouble, because you can be writing and another person has written what you're writing on. So if you check and they've written it, you go back and adjust your own. So it's just continuous till you end your journey. So that is it. So another thing is you have to get emotional support, intellectual, practical support is very important. Mentorship is very, very important. Do not joke with it. Do not joke with it. And that is it. So
Right.
another thing, okay, I will recommend, these are some books I want to recommend for us. I have read at least six out of it. Yeah, I've read six of them back to back. Yeah. I love Eat That Frog. It helps you to stop procrastination. Same with Get It Done Now. Brian
Mm.
Tracy wrote the both of them. I love My Vision. That one will make you very formidable. You'll be able to withstand obstacles in your journey, whether it's entrepreneurial journey, whatever journey you're going. Atomic Habits, yes, it helps you build consistency. Beautiful. Hyper focus, it helps you. Then Achieving Your Goals, you look at 12 weeks a year. So they're all very good books. I'm recommending them, and you don't need to buy. If you can borrow in a library, you can get access to the audio books. Instead of listening to music with your headphones, you can just listen to this. It's very good. Is when you're in the bus, when you're going to your work, you can just play the books, and they'll be playing, you'll be listening to them. It will really, really help you. I love recommending books whenever I tell people, whenever I handle sessions, because it will help you continue in that mindset, and it will help you know better than even what the session did not give you, please. So
Okay.
with that, I am happy to answer our
All
questions. I'm
right.
happy to hear us.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. This is
Open to
amazing. I'm gonna tell you the truth. My mind is blown. I believe you've delivered this session on goal setting in a way that I've not heard it in a very long time, and I'm
Thank
pretty sure
you.
I'm not the only person who feels that way. Okay, I'm conscious of time, and I see that there are a good number of questions that we have already on Slido. So this is what I'm going to ask everyone to do. We'll take a few of these questions. We won't be able to take everything. So what you can do for me is to upvote the ones that you feel we should take. I want to leave that decision with us. So the questions that get the most votes, everybody has access to that Slido. I'm going to share the link again. The ones that have the most votes will get asked. So can having it, okay, how can you handle goal clash with your spouse? How can you handle goal clash? If I'm poking the brain of the person who asked this question, I'm thinking I have a goal. My husband has a goal that is at a different tangent to my goal. How do you handle that?
Okay, you see, communication is number one.
Mm,
That is why I say if the person, your significant other, or the people that your goal will affect are not with you on that goal, you won't achieve it. So you have to sit down with your partner and have that discussion.
mm,
Whose goal is more far reaching,
mm,
whose goal requires longer time. You know, you assess these things. You know, the one that what where are we financially,
mm,
and what goal can we carry, what goal can give us the faster journey. You know, we have to compare and contrast a lot. We
mm,
have to think through on both sides of the, because everybody's feelings should matter. If you just want to focus on yourself, you're being selfish, and
mm,
if you don't have peace at home, you won't achieve your goal.
mm,
So you have to lay the cards on the table and consider what goals you're pursuing and how it helps you and helps the marriage and helps everything that you both represent. You're one first. Then after that, you now come down and now say, okay, which goal should go first?
mm,
After that, which one should come after?
mm,
Once we agree on, there will definitely be a common ground.
mm. Beautiful. Thank you very much for that.
There will definitely be a common ground.
Mm. I'll take two more questions and then I'll throw the floor open to a couple of people to just share their thoughts. Okay, so I have these that says, what advice do you have for someone with whom procrastination has become a vicious cycle? So no matter what they do, they set the goals, but they never accomplish it. And then they set it again, they never accomplish it, and it's become a vicious cycle. What advice do you have for such a person?
Okay, in that one, I will tell you that I've been there before. Oh God, I can procrastinate. I used to procrastinate a lot,
Mm,
basically because I know that even in last minute I will deliver. So
mm,
something that I know that I can even do early and move on, I will now say, let me do this one first. I will
mm,
come back. But with time, I realized that it burns me out because
mm,
something that I can maybe, I will maybe submit the next day. I will now do it the night before that day. So I end up getting burnt out, although I'll get it done. So what I will advise, first of all, the book that changed my mindset about it was that it Eats That Frog by Brian Tracy.
mm,
I took my time to read it back to back and it helped me. The second thing is that I prioritized I don't have fun until I've done what I want to do.
mm,
Then I start my day first by focusing on what is most important to me. I
mm,
will always have that my priority list. Nothing takes it away. So in my to-do list, I prioritize. So I start from the hardest tasks that I have. Another thing procrastinators do is that they want to start with the easy ones and leave
mm,
the hard ones later.
mm.
Eventually, they end up not doing the hard ones. So I turned it by doing the hard ones first. I told myself, if I don't do this first, I won't do this. So that helped me a lot to handle it. It's a
Beautiful.
journey, it's a process.
Mm.
You will not do it like it, you won't enjoy it at the beginning, but once you start it and you're consistent with it, you will achieve it.
Can I just chip in these as well? And you may
Yeah.
also want to elaborate. Do you think such a person will benefit from having some sort of mentor or accountability partner who has some sort of authority over them? That means the person can say, I want this tomorrow, and it shouldn't surpass tomorrow.
Yes, the
Beautiful.
person can benefit from a mentor, but that, like you said, someone that they respect,
Mm,
and someone that, okay, let me not use the word someone you respect, someone you have decided to respect
mm,
because of that journey.
mm,
Yes.
mm.
So if you have
Beautiful.
that person, then that person can also help you.
Beautiful. And that's going to lead me to the last question for tonight. There are several other questions, but because of time, and I know a lot of us have to plan for tomorrow, I'll just
Mhm.
take this last one. It says, what are the qualities to look for in people we want to choose as mentors? I think you touched on that briefly during the presentation. If you can
Yeah.
just touch on it again.
Okay, so you have to look for mentors that will speak you into your goal. I don't know how I'm going to express this again,
Mm,
but let me also A mentor should be your account, somebody that will hold you so accountable, that is as driven as you.
Mm.
You don't have to have someone that will even distract you. You know, some people can distract you from your goals. So your mentor should be somebody that can even call you to order when they feel that you're not living up to expectation towards
Mm.
that goal.
Mm.
So as we are now, we are listening to me, like everybody here is listening. You, someone comes to mind, you can't even forget that person. So one or two people may come to mind, or if you think further, you remember somebody. So somebody can hold you. I can just reach out to the person and say, I want to achieve this. Can you just be my accountability person? Can I
Mm.
count on you to? Can I come to you when I feel that I need someone to talk to?
Mm.
Some of the people that I do it with, they don't even know that that's what they are doing. I only tell them that I want to do something. In case I call you about this thing, please answer me. But
Mm.
you can also come out straight and say, okay, this is what you are to me. But your accountability partner will also be somebody that is successful, or you may not be. I don't know how the yardstick we are going to use to judge this success, but let me say somebody that you can count on to give you very critical feedback, that
Mm.
will not be emotional, that will not be biased. I
Mm.
won't use my mom as an accountability partner. If I tell my mom that I wasn't able to do this, my mom will say, don't kill yourself. You've
Mm.
been doing enough. She'll be emotional about it.
Mm.
So you look for somebody that won't be emotional, someone that will
Mm.
push you further, someone that you can count on, even when you cannot think rationally. And the person will, you borrow the person will borrow you their brain. Then when you're back to normal, you will know that you're still on track.
Mm.
So
Mm.
let us search within our phones, within our circle, within our contacts. Those people are there.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Someone once put it this way. He said, look for people who look like where you're going to. Yeah,
Okay.
look for people who look like where you're going to. And oftentimes, there's this challenge we have where we think they must be within the same faith as we are.
Mhm,
Sometimes it can be cross faith, it can
mhm,
be cross discipline, if you understand what I mean. As long as the
mhm.
person has the values that you desire, you can learn from them. All right. We're gonna give, I'll put a cap on it with respect to questions there, and I'm just gonna take one or two feedbacks from everyone. Of course, it's going to be based on how quickly we raise our hands. I can't take everyone. So whose hands are raised? Okay, I see Olusha Bailoe and I see Bukade Erain. Okay, so I'm just going to take it in that order. So, Prof, over to you quickly.
Thank you so much, sir, for organizing this, and thank you so much for delivering this to us so much. Well, I can confirm to you that I've listened to a lot of goal setting section and everything, but this is actually delivered in a unique way.
Mm,
And I can confirm to you that I've made a note already, which I will still have to develop over it this night. And another thing that you said actually struck me was when you have heard about celebrating your goals, but it's very rare to hear that you have to prepare on how you are going to celebrate the goal.
mm,
The win, sorry, celebrating your wins. And when I now heard that you have to prepare on how to celebrate the win. And the first thing that came to my mind was actually the footballers, the players. And what came to my mind was why always me, Balotelli. There was a time he scored and he put off his shirt, and what he had under his shirt was why always me. That
mm,
simply means he prepared on how you will celebrate the goal. If he had, and only God
Exactly.
knows how long he has been wearing that underwear before that goal that he put out the shirt. So that actually struck me so hard, and I want to commend you again. Thank you so much, and thank you so much again. I think I don't have anything to say
beautiful,
more than that. Thank you, man.
beautiful. So he manifested he's the actualization of his goal. And it came to be, it came to pass. Thank you very much for that contribution, Prof. Yeah, Bukade Erayomen, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. Honestly, I don't know how it will feel if I say I didn't follow the exercise you gave, but what I picked was those things like I put it, is loud. There
Mm,
are some things that honestly, when you are talking, like the person that spoke now, I made notes. some things are simple, and I was trying to relate it like to something that I can easily, yes, that I can easily relate to. When you said, who are the people that will help you, like people that will help you achieve that goal?
Mm,
Then you said discussing your goal with your partner if you're a married person. I don't think I've had it in that manner. And I must like you really did excellently. And thank you for that. That you break it down in such a way that I can relate to it. And I want to believe like everybody here is something like the other person said. He was able to relate it with, probably that is one of his hobby, football, watching
mm,
football.
mm,
Thank you for making it such a thing like that. And the other thing I want to say concerning the person that said working with God, I can't remember how the question was framed. I
mm,
think this may help the person or all of us, especially when it comes to spiritual life. Yes, it's a daily thing until we see Jesus and we hear welcome home. But in your spiritual life, you may want to be like, okay, I've never finished reading Bible since I gave my life to Christ. Okay, this year or in the next 2 years, I want to see that I finish reading Bible. That will
mm,
be a goal towards your spiritual life. Or it is, oh, I've not been sanctified. Every time thought of sin to go back is always in me. I want to get this sanctification experience. Maybe you are reading some book. It may be like that. I just thought to share something like that. Or Holy Ghost baptism experience. I've not been baptized. I've heard about this. You may probably like, okay, I want to read about it. What is that thing that is hindering me? And you begin to just put some milestone in that your spiritual journey.
mhm.
Okay, I struggle to do my quiet time every day. Today, for the next 1 week, for the next 1 month, for the next 1 year. And okay, thank you so much for
Thank you
this
very much,
opportunity.
Bukade. Bukade is joining us from Canada, by the way. I saw that you dropped that in the chat section. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for that input as well. Thank you so much, everyone. I just dropped a link right about now in the chat section. You want to give us feedback with respect to this session, please provide your feedback. And if you also want us to bring Dr. Adaeze, you see, when I told you that doctor, whether the devil likes it or yes, no option of no, you are getting it. You see, I was right, huh? I mean, this is just a fantastic delivery, and I'm pretty
Thank
sure
you, sir.
everybody agrees with me. So please, you have feedback for her. You have feedback. Oh yes, I'll share the recorded session. I'll share the message. Most likely audio, because of the size. But I'll find a way to make it available to everyone. Possibly also grant us some vital notes that we can easily share on social media. Dr. Adat, do you have a final word for us this evening as we call it a night? Anything for us?
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us. And I hope you enjoyed the session. And I hope that whatever you've learned, that you're able to put it into the works and use it to achieve your goals. I'm really rooting for you and I sincerely wish you all the best. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I guarantee you we're still going to be hearing from Adaeze. Subsequent sessions, of course, will make sure that we are notified. Again, when you're giving your feedback, if you want us to send you invitations directly to your email for subsequent sessions, whether or not you register, please indicate in your feedback, and we will do that. Thank you very much again, once again, everyone. I hope to see you very soon. And please, if you have programs that you know will benefit every one of us, don't hesitate to invite us. Like I mentioned at the onset, the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. And thank you very much, everyone. It's been an amazing evening.